Hi, my name is Carrie. Welcome to my studio. I'm going to give you a quick run through of the cutting tools that we'll be using for the residency. First off, safety glasses. Safety glasses are for protecting your eyes, not your forehead, your nose, or your mouth. Try and explain that to the kids all the time because they always like to do this, but that's not going to save their eyes. Next, I'm going to show you something that you, the parent volunteers, will be using, but the kids probably won't be using. This is a pistol grip glass cutter. Just like that. So if you put your hand out like that, like a toy gun, you put that right in there. This finger is going to go right where the cutter is. It's not sharp enough, it's not going to cut you, it's just going to score the glass. So you start on one side of the glass and you go all the way through to the other side, and you have to push kind of hard and you want to stop before you go off the edge. After I've got my score line, I want to use my running pliers. The running pliers have the screw facing up. Most of my tools will tell you it's either up or no. And if you look at it, it has a little frowny face. The frowny face is going to push up underneath the score line and down on either side. So I find my score line and I put the tool in about that far. I hold back as far as possible and just give a gentle squeeze, and it breaks right where I told it to. Okay, so I'm going to cut a bunch of glass to have ready for the residency, and then the kids will be using the mosaic nippers. Mosaic nippers are these guys here. They have two wheels, which again aren't sharp, but if you get your finger in there you can pinch them and that will hurt. So as you're holding them, if you put them out in front of your body like this, the wheels are going to face your other hand. So if you're left-handed, same thing, the wheels are still going to face your other hand. That way, when you look at the glass, you can see exactly where you're going to cut. If you had it the other way, it's a lot harder to get in there and see where you're cutting. And if it's a small piece of glass, you have a very increased likelihood of pinching your fingers. So I want to put the piece of glass roughly where I want to break it. And these are not a precise tool. If I want to cut sideways, I will angle the glass. And notice how the wheels are perpendicular to the glass. They're not curved sideways, they're perpendicular. So I'm going to find the spot where I want to cut, and we're going to start with a bunch of squares. So you want to make sure that you're nipping into a tub. Safety glasses for kitties. You're nipping into a tub, and that's going to prevent you from shooting your neighbor. So the kids are going to start with squarish looking pieces, and they're going to cut these squares into long rectangles. So to cut a square into a rectangle, you cut it in half long ways. Notice I'm aiming the mosaic nippers the direction I want the cut to go. And then I hold back as far as possible and I give it a squeeze. And now I have two rectangles. Next we're going to cut those two rectangles into squares. So to cut a rectangle into two squares, I need to cut it in half. Some of the kids, especially the younger ones, are going to have a really hard time using the nippers like this. So instead, they're going to hold them like they're riding a bike, and their partner is going to hold the glass for them where they need it to cut. This allows them to squeeze the nippers together, put one hand on the very end, and then put the other hand next to them like they're rowing a boat, and they're going to use both hands to squeeze the nippers like this, not like this. This doesn't give them any power. So they're going to hold the nippers like this, their partner's going to hold the glass where they need to cut, and they're going to squeeze and aim into the tub. And last thing we're going to do is cut these little squares into triangles. And this way the kids have practiced cutting every shape that they need to cut to make their personal tool, personal pendants, and their overall piece. Thank you for volunteering to help, and I will see you very soon.